Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for another Walking Dead video for the ones who live. We are down to the final 2 episodes. Whether it's a season or a series, still don't know. I think they're really keeping that tight-lipped as far as what they want to reveal, and we could possibly see the reveal of a second season. But, I can't believe we're already here. We're at the last 2 episodes of a series that we waited years for. We all know that started out as movies, and then when they got moved on to a series. And honestly, I'm glad they went the series direction. As much as I would like to see this stuff on a large, theater screen and whatnot, I was glad that they decided to go this route because I think they could probably have a little bit more time and maybe a little bit more freedom to do what they wanted. And it just, I don't know, it worked out better. But I wanted to talk about the last couple episodes or what I believe the transition of events will be as far as what will happen with this stories and how I think it could lead into a second season or some other continuation of this story. But a lot of people believe, and I believe this too, as we go into the 5th episode, we know that we have kind of a mystery person showing up, and there's a lot of theories out there. I've done my fair share of videos about that, where we could possibly see Morgan, but I think that's kind of on the slim side of things, just because I think it would be too overshadowing for the episode. It would be too overshadowing for Rick and Michonne to where it would take that focus off of them, and people would just want to see more of him, or just it would really kind of maybe misdirect people or get their hopes up that we could see them all go home. And I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen at all, unfortunately. And then there's also the theory that this could be Silas, which would be awesome, because I think that if they don't use him, it would definitely be a wasted opportunity, and I think they could give him more story, because I wanted to see more about Silas. I wanted to see more about his character, and just if they just completely ignore the fact that he exists, I think that would be really dumb on their part, because of the fact this is all, obviously a CRM story about Rick's experience with the CRM, and if they don't sprinkle a little bit of Silas's progression through the CRM in there, or just to see him out in the wild, maybe he was a soldier that got out or whatever it is, but I think it would be cool to see him. But again, I think that's another character that's slim chance of ever showing up again. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't see it happening. I don't see him showing up, and really I believe that the mystery character is just that. I think it's just going to be a mystery random person out in the world that they come across that gives them trouble that they have to deal with, and they're going to be dealt with. And then I think in the mix of all of that too, because we had those other 2 survivor people that was in the back shots of one of the promo pics that we got, and I think they were in the trailer too. We had these random people show up. We don't know anything about them. Whether or not they could be people from the past, that seems unlikely too. I don't know if they would do that right now. I know we're supposed to get some sort of cameo from The Walking Dead. I just don't know who to expect at this point, because as I mentioned, I believe Morgan would just be too big, but there are ways they could go about it, but I'm not going to go into it for the millionth time. But with that said, as they proceed into this next episode, which is only a few days away from now, and then we will have only 1 episode left, which is just nuts to think about. But when they get into this episode, I think how things are going to go down as far as our main characters being Rick, Michonne, and Jadis, because we all know that Jadis is going to show up in this episode. She's going to be involved in that car scene chase that we've seen through the trailers and through other promo material, where she's going to track Rick and Michonne down, and they get in this car chase, and then I believe that an accident's going to occur, or they run into a crowd of walkers or whatever, because we see where Rick and Michonne's truck is surrounded. And I think there's going to be a back and forth with Jadis. Maybe they get the upper hand, or she gets away and they have to chase her, because we see them all go into kind of this makeshift camp where they're kind of sneaking around, being covert-like, trying to find each other or hunt each other or whatever it is. And I think it's going to come down to that we could possibly see Jadis probably get bit, and then they have to put her down, or they injure her in some way. But I don't think Jadis is going to make it out. I think that was kind of the plan from the beginning, that this is where her story is going to end, and I just think that's probably the only way to go about it. But with that too, with Jadis' story more than likely coming to an end in this episode, this is where things are going to take a left turn that nobody is going to like. It's not going to play out a way that we want it to, for a couple different reasons. We're going to get this scene, or we're going to get this fight between Rick, Michonne, Jadis. Jadis dies, And this is where they realize, oh shit, she does have that file. She might detail that or the echelon briefing or something with her dying breath. And this is what forces that decision, where we saw in the trailer for the next episode where Michonne says this doesn't end with us going home. This is where I believe they're going to part ways. And I think it's going to push the story forward to a point where they don't have a choice but to give us a second season. Because I think with this decision, Rick goes back to get whatever file that she has on him, or he goes back to learn more about the echelon briefing because she gives him maybe a little taste of it. And he figures that this is something that he has to know. And on top of that, he needs to find whatever information that she has on him. If she has it, she could be completely bluffing and full of shit. But this is where I believe they go their separate ways. Michonne goes home, probably to warn Alexandria, and then on top of that, find out everything that's gone on since she's left. And I think that's who Carol says so-and-so came back during that episode of Daryl Dixon. So that's just kind of why maybe she didn't have much excitement or much urgency behind that message that she is delivering to Daryl. So I just think that's where the story is going to split off into a couple different directions. Michonne goes home to warn Alexandria, get all this information that she didn't know, and then get Alexandria evacuated just in case. And then she will learn that, hey, we have this whole new community, the Commonwealth, where they can go and hide and no one will ever be the wiser, unless, of course, Lance Hornsby from the Commonwealth did, in fact, have some kind of communication between him and the CRM. I don't know. That one's kind of unlikely, too. But there is always that possibility. And Rick goes back, and here's where it kind of makes more sense, or starts to make sense anyways, because we have not seen Beale really at all in this series, where he's supposed to play this major character. He's supposed to be this giant threat. He's in charge of this, very special forces type military, and we have not seen shit of him. We've seen him in a handful of scenes, and there have been scenes within the trailers that we have not even seen yet. As far as when he is giving someone the speech, and I 100% believe this is Rick, that he says everything's going to change. And this is during that echelon briefing. So this is where Rick goes back. He gets this info, and they don't have a choice but to give us a second season. I just don't think it would work any other way. If they cut it off there, it would just be more or less devastating to us fans, and it would piss us off. So I really hope they don't go that direction. I don't think they will if they want to make any more money, because they have to know with Walking Dead, especially this series, brought back a large chunk of fans that walked away from this series years ago, particularly around the time Glenn was killed, because a lot of people are more or less traumatized by that as well. To say that this wouldn't get a second season, it would be insanity, I think, because we all want to see them come home. We want to see this CRM situation resolved. We want to see it either, destroyed from the inside, or we want to see it taken in a different direction where they could actually do some good in the world to go along with whatever their 500-year plan is, but they would probably have to alter that in some way to go along with what's needed. And also to kind of further feed into what I believe what will happen with the last of this season, with Dead City giving out that casting call, and I did a video about this too, where they are looking for soldiers. They did not describe what type of soldiers. I want to believe that the CRM is going to be present in the Dead City series too, where we could possibly see some spillover or what have you, or some continuation of the CRM story within Dead City Season 2, and that's probably why, other than the delays from the strikes, that it's going to take, probably the rest of the year, because we're not going to see it until sometime next year, and I don't think they've done a whole lot of filming yet. But with that casting call, we have a casting call for soldiers, survivors, walkers, and I think one other type of cast that they're looking for. But I really think we could see them spill over into the Dead City world, and that's going to be a continuation of maybe the CRM's plans as far as the 500-year plan, or another part of the echelon briefing that's a plan that they have to put in place to happen. But anyways, that's just another part of my theories I think could carry on this part of the story. But that's just kind of my predictions for what we have left of this. I don't think anybody's going to die, hopefully. There's still that possibility, and that's a big rumor out there and a big theory, but I don't think it would make sense to kill them, because they would have brought them back for nothing, and it would just be the dumbest decision ever. But I think that's just where it's going to happen. They're going to kill Jadis, realize that they have to go their separate ways. Rick goes back into the CRM. Michonne goes home. Rick gets all this information from Beale. He goes to the echelon briefing. He goes deeper into the CRM, and then maybe starts to destroy it from the inside from there. But I mentioned this also in a previous video, where the summit that they're supposed to be gathering all at this location that Rick helped build over a year or more, that I could see this also being an assassination attempt on Beale's part to take out all of these leaders so he can redo the CRM in his image. But I know that's a lot of information kind of all over the place, but I just believe that's how the rest of the story is going to play out. We're not going to get the ending we want, but we could possibly see a second season to make up for that and get that ending later down the road, whether it be next year or probably 2026, in my opinion. But anyways, that's just kind of my rambling video that I wanted to share with you guys, my theories and thoughts about what we could see happen for the rest of the season. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, and of course subscribe to the channel. Help me make that push to 1,000 subscribers. I would really appreciate it. So until next time, guys, take care. Bye.